This will resonate in your everyday experience. So commonly, people are sitting at a desk or wherever and they feel like they start to slump. So to come out of a slump, they end up just pushing their spine forward. But that's because the relationship of the femur to the hip, to the whole hip, not just to the hip joint, but to all of this hip or haunch, is not utilized. They don't utilize that relationship. So instead, what you feel is here's all this leverage that you have, which would be the same kind of leverage as if you were doing tree.
Right.
So in tree, you're not doing that. It doesn't knock you off balance or doesn't put you more into one side or the other. So same thing here. This doesn't lift this side of the pelvis, and this doesn't push down. So this whole system is integrated equally on both sides. And so then when you bring this bone into relationship with the hip joint, and there's this, you literally put a spin on it. When it spins, a spin is going to be conducive to an arc. So then these lumbar vertebrae, which when you're in a slump, they're being pushed back and down and under. So to take them out of that, you don't pull them up or shove them forward. You liberate them, you liberate the lumbar vertebra through the sacrum and out the tail, and then you'll feel you'll start to feel the stretch because you've taken the muscle from being all twisted and from both ends, from the femur end of the piriformis and the sacral end of the piriformis, it starts to unwind. So let's see if we can break that on a more of a pronounced level.
Change the exercise.
This,
Doing the same side.
that we did, yeah. So, well, this is stronger. You feel that?
Mm-hmm.
That's better.
Yeah,
Yeah?
because I just copied you.
Okay, great. Oh, so you could watch and see the energy of it. Yeah. And so,
And also just sit still and feel it.
oh, great. That's it. So then it's nice because you have this spin of this, which is giving you this sit bone arc, which is down towards the table, but also behind you. There you go. So this spin is conducive to an arc, and then the arc is going to be conducive to the wave of your entire spine. But so this spine has three curves. So we're dealing mostly with the lumbar curve. So you want to connect that lumbar curve into the sacrum and out the tail so it can continue on in a wave. That's it. Good. And then take your left hand to your right knee now. There you go. And then bring this hand here. So
Is my hand supposed to touch down?
that would be good, but bring it closer so you don't so
Okay.
your elbow is soft. There you go. So you don't want to do that.
Okay.
You want to do the open up the thumb part. There you go. Good. And so you can think of this as screwing the lid off a jar. So the part of your body that's the jar is the part that's below the navel. So what's above the navel is your thoracic spine, your ribs. So this is what's tricky about when people are instructed to twist, that it's not made clear sometimes that what's really important is to stabilize
Below the belly.
below the belly, yeah, below the navel, yeah. So basically what you're stabilizing, you're still keeping this lumbar spine in its arching, delicate, tiny swoop into the sacrum and tail, good. And then what's above your lumbar spine, good. So so when you're screwing the lid off a jar, the jar doesn't turn with the lid turns and the jar stays stable. There you go. That's how you're going to start to get your lats and your lower trapezius, good, to work stabilizing effect of your hamstrings, your inner thighs, your core as a rooting mechanism. There you go, great. How's that?
Very nice.
Yep. So ultimately your lat line, not muscularly, but through connective tissue, the lats connect all the way to the sacroiliac. There you go. So sacroiliac comes from, so the sacro part of sacroiliac comes from sacrum, and the ilio part of sacroiliac, or the iliac part of sacroiliac, comes from ilium. So sacroiliac is the joint between the sacrum and this ilium bone. There you go. But your lats come all the way down to these sacroiliacs. There you go. So then you can kind of see how the lats tether down, the hamstrings tether back. So it's kind of like your sit bones are the bottom of your pelvis. The sacroiliac is somewhat the top of the pelvis. So you have lats that are tethering down, hamstrings that are tethering back, and in between the pairs of lats and hamstrings is your sacrum, which feels supported and open. And the sacrum now can receive your lumbar spine. Great. How's that?
Good.
Yeah, that's better.